Hi everyone, I'm Kate. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna show you the differences between different type of papers. I've got in front of me the half-white paper that I've always used, and I've bought something from a stationery shop, and this is a lot cheaper. And this is called the practicing calligraphy and painting paper. And these are only like $5 US for 50 pieces. So, and what I've been using is half-white paper from a more renowned brand, and it is a lot more expensive. And so I'm going to go through that and show you how to control your brush to achieve what you wanted to paint. This is a wrapping paper of the rice paper, and this is a famous brand, Red Star, and there is a mark which is very generic, you would think, but this is a brand that's meant to be very famous for making high quality of rice paper in China. It's located in Anhui province. There are different sizes in Chinese traditional rice paper. This is a 4 feet, but the 4 feet isn't the Western 4 feet, which is 1 foot, is 12 inches, and this is bigger. So when you buy this type of paper, you have to cut them into smaller ones to practice. Just cut them into small square. I usually cut them into an equal part of 8. Just remember that there is a front and back of the paper. The smooth side is the front, and the rougher side is the back. You always paint on the front side. So I'm going to show you the measurement in Chinese measurement. 1 foot is almost 13.5 inches or 35 centimeters. This is from Guangzhou. There is a name, but we don't really know where it's produced because it could be just a distributor. On the package, it says that it's made with some bamboo something and dry wheat from, maybe this is the name of the place. And then said that it's made with high quality, soft, and good absorbance. It's great for calligraphy, and then it won't leaks, and it's just traditional and great for practice. But we'll find out. I don't know if you can see it clearly, but this is the practicing paper. It looks very thin as compared to the one that I always use, which is half white, and I suspect that this is quite raw and thin. I'm putting it against the light, and this is how thin it is, and the first is this one, and this is the one that I always use, thicker. So let's get started. Use the large brush, take some ink, and make sure that you don't have a lot of water in the brush belly, and use the upright stroke and start to paint. I can tell immediately that it is quite raw. So you have to use less water and make sure that you paint fast. Now I'm switching to a smaller brush, which is easy to control. If you're buying this type of paper, then you should always start with the smaller brush, which is easier to control the amount of water in your brush. I was asked if there was any alternative to rice paper. The answer is no if you want to achieve the same painting effects. However, there are different types of paper, different brands, and water absorption. Hopefully you can find something that suits your budget and the way that you paint. It is true that Chinese rice paper can be very expensive. I think the medium white kind that I'm using cost around $1 per piece of small square after I cut it. And This one that I'm painting on costs around 10 cents per piece, and the paper is a bit bigger than my small square paper. When you're learning and practicing, you will use a lot of paper. So do get something reasonable and don't waste your paper. I always use up all the white space before I throw away the practice paper. Now I'm painting a couple of birds on the branch. The color looked okay, and then I'm going to use ink to finish the rest of the bird. To me, this paper is quite raw. The color runs fast on the paper, so your brush strokes will get murky very easily. The best way is to reduce the amount of water on your brush and paint fast. However, that's a bit tricky because you need the gradient for freestyle Chinese painting. Well, I'm going to show you the close-up look of the painting in the end and compare it with another painting that I'm going to paint exactly with the paper that I always use, which is a half-wipe paper. So stay tuned. The beak, feet, and the eyes are dark ink, so make sure your brush is dried and take some fresh ink to paint. Now I'm painting a second one using the half-white paper that I always use. I'll start with a large brush to paint a bamboo stamp, and then the second bamboo stamp will be using the small brush because this paper is a bit smaller than the other one. But I will try to keep a very similar composition so that you can compare apple to apple. If you have any questions or comments, please leave the message in the comment box below. I'll try my best to give you an answer or demonstrate in some other videos. If you are new to my channel and haven't subscribed yet, please do so and press the bell notification button so that you don't miss out any updates. I'm gonna start fast forwarding this because it will look like you're watching it twice. Now let's take a look at the first painting on the paper that I bought. The ink just runs and expands quickly on the paper. Now you can see that you don't see the texture of the brushstroke. And this is not what I want. I want it to be sharper. The same for the bird, but it's okay that the feather could be a bit fluffy. And now it's the leaves. I think that it is acceptable, given the fact that this is the first time I ever painted on this paper. Now let's take a look at the texture of the brushstroke of the bamboo stamp. This is what it meant to look like, with shades of gray and the texture of a bamboo. And look how sharp everything is and all the brush strokes are. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something. I'll see you next time.